Welcome to day 3 of the 30-day video challenge. If you're new here, just coming across this channel, thank you for chiming in. We are doing a 30-day video challenge for the month of June. My name is Eric, and I'm here in San Antonio, Texas. And today we're running out of time, so it's dinner time. And the best way I can think of doing two birds, one stone is cooking dinner while talking about what we're going to talk about today, which is communication and how key it is on everything in all aspects of your life. But before we do that, let me show you what we're cooking for dinner. We're going to be making the power bowls. I'm not sure what they're exactly called, but we're going to be using ground chicken instead of ground beef. We got some sweet potatoes. We got some avocados. We got some of my favorite taco seasoning. If you haven't tried this taco seasoning, sieta or however you say it, oh yeah, this is probably the best, in my opinion, packaged taco seasoning you can get. And then we got, of course, the cottage cheese. It's like, if it has protein, it's a good thing. That's what everyone says. So more protein. We got avocados. Of course, you got to hit it with some lime juice. And we'll probably have to find some salsa somewhere in the fridge. But let's get started. We got to peel these things and we got to get these things cooking because these are going to take the longest. Everyone says put them in the oven, but I'm actually going to try the air fryer. So let's see how that works. So if you remembered in the beginning, day 1, I said the edits weren't going to be that good. This is really where it's going to come into play because I'm doing cooking and I'm moving all over the kitchen. So let's see how well they come out. This video comes out with the edits, but that's okay. We're still going to do it. We're going to challenge ourselves for these 30 days. And this is where it really comes into play. I'm actually on daddy duty right now. So you might hear the girls going off, at some point in this video. I'm just forewarning you now. But guys, what I want to talk about today while I cook tonight's dinner, Alicia is at the gym right now. And so I thought, why not knock it out now so I don't have to do it later? I've actually been thinking throughout the day of when I was going to get to do this video. As much timing as I mapped out yesterday, one thing just led to another today. It was crazy. We had the owners meeting, and then I had an interview today, followed by a meeting with my office admin, Patty. She was helping work on communication, and that's why I really thought how important it is to have proper communication within your business, starting from the very top all the way down to the bottom. So once a week now, Paul and I, which is the other owner, we get together and we talk about where we're at on our personal lives, where we're at with the business. We go through the numbers, we go through all the jazz, basically just talking about what's going on in the business, where we're at, if we're doing well, where we can improve. And I feel like it's huge that a lot of people don't really communicate internally with their business. Everyone's worried about, customer service communication, but what about internal communication? I feel like that's where it really, really starts. And then from there, if you have the internal communication on lock, your customer communication will then basically follow suit. So what we went over today really kind of just opened up my eyes to some things that's not being properly communicated with some of the ordeals, I guess, we're going through. Like any business, you always want to make room for improvement. And it realistically just comes down to old school communication. And so we kind of went through everything as far as, what we see on a day-to-day basis. And to give you some insight, he covers a different part of the business than I cover, but together collectively, we have similar interests, which is we want the best for the business. We want it to succeed. And actually, I just remembered, I'm going to turn this on. So, let me get situated here. We want the best for the company, and often what you find in the trades, in contracting, and any of that space is homeowners have been improperly communicated to for basically ever. They're told one thing and then they experience something totally different. So how do you stop that, right? Well, we have a couple of things within our business to help alleviate that. We have a couple of different positions. We have a customer success manager that is actually his only, not only, but his main role, responsibility is to communicate with the homeowner through the entire process of the roof restoration. That's not something that every roofing company or any roofing company that I know has. And it really helps with communication. But beyond that, internal communication. We have, at any given time, we have, let's just say 10 projects going on. That's 10 different homeowners. That's 10 different communication, different conversations. And then you have the salesman, you have the, you have salesman, you have Patty, you have the customer success manager, and the project coordinator, the production coordinator, all communicating with this homeowner, right? So what does that mean? Well, all the internal communication has to be on point. And what I'm finding is there's some errors here and there, and that's preventing from that internal communication to be where it is. And so, for example, the salesman is on one page. Patty, who's on the inside calling these customers, is on another page or doesn't even know where they're at. And that's a problem. And basically it boils down to improper communication. I keep saying communication because it's huge. And so in this day and age, 2025, communication is everywhere. Communication is everything. So my thing is very simple. Document all the communication, and that's where your CRM comes into play. So our CRM helps us to properly document all the communication we have, whether it's with our customer or internally with a staff member. And this allows us to all be on the same page at the same time at any given point in time, no matter where we're working from, because it's cloud-based. So I think that's pretty cool. And if you are operating a contracting business without a CRM in 2025, well, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, where nobody knows what's going on with a certain customer. You may forget a customer. You don't know what you talked about. Maybe they sent you a text message or you had a phone conversation with that customer on the way to another customer appointment or on the way home or while you were at lunch and you didn't have anything to write it down with. That's where the CRM comes into play. You can easily make a phone call and talk to that customer and then input the notes. Therefore, anybody in the business that talks to that customer can see what conversation was just had by the previous person. I think that's pretty cool, that not a lot of people have. And so that to me speaks large volumes as far as the overall experience that that client gets, that homeowner gets, and was going to keep them coming back year after year, leaving you and giving you more and more business, whether that's through a review, a referral, or just repeat business. Let's face it, in this day and age, people are getting their roofs replaced more often than they were in the past. So communication is everywhere, and it's really important, in my opinion. What another problem that I see is not communicating fast enough. So it's not just the fact of communicating, it's the speed in which you communicate. For example, if you meet with a homeowner about their roofing project, you're going to want a solution to provide them right away. And they want a solution to be provided to them right away. I'm going to turn this thing on here. I don't know how loud it's going to be, but it's probably going to be pretty loud. Because like I said, we're using the air fryer. Hopefully it's not too loud. But let's clean this thing out first. From the lunch the girls had with their dino nuggets. And on. So hopefully it's not too loud. But then again, we are cooking dinner, right? Everything's going pretty good. We got the chicken cooking. We got to get this thing going. Try not to waste too much time. But communication in 2025, I feel, is easy, but it's also something that for some reason is still a challenge. So I want to know, comment down below, what communication are you doing? Struggles are you having, or is communication not a struggle at all? And how do you go about communicating internally with your business and your customers, your clientele? What means do you hold everyone accountable for when it comes to communication? Or maybe you just have it on lock. I don't know, but I'm telling you right now, if communication is not a concern of yours, you might want to make it a concern, because it can literally make or break a deal. It can cost a homeowner from either going with you or not going with you. So that's what, to me, the lesson I learned today is the role and the amount of importance that communication has. All right. Enough rambling on about communication. Let's get to cooking. We have the sweet potatoes ready to go. We're going to get these in a bowl with some oil and some seasoning. Let's use this size bowl. Looks good. Let's get some olive oil on these bad boys. We're going to hit it with some of my favorite seasoning, a little bit of Dano's. Actually, almost forgot. Get these puppies properly coated. A little, as Dano would do, pop, pop, pop. If you haven't tried the Dano's, it's pretty dang good. Get a little bit of Salt Bay action going here. A little pepper. Don't be afraid on the pepper. Speaking of communication, I'm trying to communicate how I'm cooking this thing. All right. So let's get this in the air fryer. I'm going to use Movie Magic and kind of fast forward, because if not, we're going to be here literally all day. We're going to cook the chicken. We're going to season the chicken. We're going to get the potatoes done. And then I'm going to put it all together and show you how this thing comes together pretty quickly. If you don't believe me, it goes together pretty quickly. The girls are upstairs going crazy. I don't know if you can hear them or not. And Alicia should be home soon. So let's get this dinner finished and on the table, because I am hungry. All right, well, thanks to Movie Magic, we're all done. Here are the bowls. They came out pretty good, if I don't say so myself. But yeah, so at the end of it, it calls for hot honey, but we just put some salsa on it. And I added some lime, and we'll see how it comes out. Alicia just got home. We're going to dig in and enjoy. I made the girls some noodles, because if you have kids, that's all they eat is noodles and strawberries. So that's what they'll be having for dinner. And that pretty much wraps it up. The only thing I did add was a little bit of this. Don't tell Alicia, because she gets weird. But there you go. Knocked it out. Day 3, vlog 3, video 3 with dinner. How much better does it get? Guys, communication is key in everything that you do, from work, family, personal communication, internal communication, with your business, with yourself, with your spouse, with your kids. I just had to communicate with them that they needed to clean the room up, because it was dinner time, and the room up there, it's a mess. You don't want to see it. So guys, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on communication, and if you enjoyed the cooking while communicating with you on day 3 of the 30-day challenge, for June. I enjoyed it. Hope you did too. And we're kind of working through this whole thing. It's definitely a challenge. Let me tell you, I still have to put this video together and get it uploaded tonight to count and continue on so that we can make it to day 4 of the 30-day challenge. Guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and follow me on the journey. Give it a thumbs up and leave a comment whether or not you learn anything out of this, if you're getting anything out of this, and if it's something that you're interested in doing for yourself. Guys, we'll see you tomorrow.